Can you explain to us, Dr. Basson, why you, in charge of the chemical and biological warfare program, would have to look at security concerns regarding the safety of President Nelson Mandela at that stage, imprisoned by the then government? Why would they come to a chemical and biological warfare person for that?
Meneer die voorsitter, ek kan nie
Mr. Chairman,
antwoord vir wat in meneer Malan se
I can't answer on behalf of Mr. Malang. Certainly, he considered, and I can tell you why I considered the option. One of the important pieces of research we did is the South African security forces found a certain ANC cache, and we arrested some ANC members. There were a few containers with chemicals in those. They brought those substances to me during the early stages. Those were substances used by some Gomas to poison people. And I personally spent 2 days in the hospital because I became exposed to those substances. I did not drink Dettol like the other people. I went to hospital, which was a very sensible way of handling it. At that time, we thought that the Russians and the East Germans and the Cubans played a very important role in the ANC's approach. And then the classical weapons of the Russians and the Cubans would also have been made available to the ANC. And therefore, General Malang, with the knowledge of those substances we found in an ANC weapon cache, and if he thought there were some people who were threatening Mr. Mandela's life, they could, for example, bomb the prison, they could have poisoned him, put poison in his soup, for example. But I had to determine which chemical and biological weapons could be used against him, and I had to protect him.
And who was involved with you in determining this?
meneer die voorsitter.
Mr. Chairman, I categorically deny that I was involved in the execution or planning or preparation of any substances with the willful purpose to do any harm to any person. Regarding the cholera Mr. Valley mentioned, it's one of the points I want to emphasize, is one of the weak points of the investigative unit. Just to allege that I would have used cholera to kill anybody can be verified within 5 minutes. Mr. Valley can go out of here and contact the Department of Health. Every cholera case is written down right through the world, and I want to bring it under your attention that in the last 20 years, not one case of cholera was made known. And the last cholera epidemic in South Africa was in 1985-86. Since then, there were not 15 cases of cholera in South Africa per year. Mr. Valley, repeatedly, he mentioned this genocide, and I want to ask him, where did that happen? Every case of cholera in South Africa is minuted by or recorded by the World Health Organization, and they can identify the origin of every cholera bacteria.
Know more about your world. ENCA.com